All righty, welcome to Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live. As you hear the mad singing skills of hot crypto mining down there.
I'm writing words to the intro song. I'm gonna come up with it.
And we have Mining King, who managed to grace us with his presence, so I appreciate that.
Fresh out the shower, as it looks.
Yes.
Looks good.
And frozen.
And he's frozen. Oh no, he was just very still.
Oh no, he's kind of half freezing. Yeah, there we go. And of course we have the GOAT, geek of all trades. I only wish I had that soundbite. So I hope you guys are all doing well tonight. Chump is taking the night off. Well-deserved time off for him. Let's go over a shortened version of the people in the chat. We got Burn, All Set, Crypto Tito, welcome. Story Time Samantha, Nate G, Red Fox Crypto is here. Taines, Mia and Milo, Bot Crusher, Scott Sheffield, Magic Lucky, Ryan Lewis, Travelers Travels, I said Magic, Homebrew Crypto, Bot Crusher, Nismo Miner, Gonzo Miner, lots of miners in the house, Paddywhack Miner, Crypto Frank, yes, CKB for the win. It's up crazy.
Would have been so funny if King just got up and went to go lay down when me and Geek just went.
Automatic Geeks, Royce's Adventures. You guys are just delaying the inevitable. You know I'm going to go through this, so just deal with it. Kyle Rose. I think I've pretty much gotten through most of the people, but I missed you, Will Wyman. I missed you. Thank you very much for being here. Oh, and Red Panda was late, so that's why I hadn't gotten to him yet. So Red Panda is in the house as well. So, Mr. Mining King, since you were the first one here tonight, how was your day?
Okay. Yeah, long. Long. Just working every day while I'm out here for the 2 weeks. So no days off while I'm out here.
Yeah. Anything in particular you worked on today?
So I worked on. So I finished kind of cleaning up the GPU facility, right? Because we had a lot of boxes and just like stuff everywhere, right? Because we never get time because only somebody would come out like once a month or something, right? So I got the place really cleaned up for the most part. The only part I didn't get to was the office, which I'll do next time that I come out and stuff like that.
That wasn't too bad though. At least when I was there, the office wasn't bad.
Oh, all those boxes on that wall. Yeah. There was like over like 300 boxes, right? Like 200 of them are occupied boxes.
Right.
You can only carry like 2 or 3 at a time. So I did that, and then I deployed some GPUs, and I fixed an L7, an L7 control board and a power supply. So seems like the 8800s are having some problems.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So when you say you fixed it, as in like just swapped out the boards, or are you doing IC level repair?
I did not do any hot air station work or anything like that. Okay, straight we're talking bolt-ons. Okay. I replaced the control board, flashed the factory firmware on it, and then I installed the power supply.
I thought maybe you brought it back to the hotel room and stuck it in the oven or something.
Oh, I mean,
I can't believe that's really
whatever I get to work.
Yeah. I thought you were joking, Max. Like, obviously I've never gotten that deep into tech, but I thought you were joking that one time. You're like, no, go put the GPU in the oven, set it to 400. I was like, huh?
Yeah, you reflow it. Yeah.
Like,
it's a thing.
It's a thing. Apparently, it's a thing.
It's a thing. Oh. Well, Hawk, since you were talking, actually, we'll go around the circle as opposed to crisscross. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Goat?
Not too bad. It's been a busy weekend. I've started rearranging the studio office here to try to help me focus and optimize what I'm doing on YouTube, and then still have, just turn around and get working in the day job. And so I don't know, not too bad. I got my new camera. Still trying to play with it, figure it out. It's a lot. similar settings to the ZV1, but yeah, far enough.
It takes time.
Oh, shit, what am I doing?
It takes time. It takes time.
Yep.
Cameras are difficult. Go ahead. Sorry.
How about you, Hawk?
Just today was, weekends. I'm usually at, again, family business. Just, I don't want to sound redundant, but that's what I do on the weekend. And then I came home a little early because when they did my desk, they sealed it and then it never like properly dried and it was just sticky. So I took matters into my own hands, went to Home Depot, and I said, look, I told the guy there, like, this is the situation. It never dried correctly. I need something to put over it so it can dry so I can put my computer and put everything back on. And he's like, use this. I'm like, okay. He goes, put it on, leave the windows open for 2 hours, came back home, and it's just smooth, like not sticky, nothing. So yeah, like Goat is doing, I'm making some changes to the YouTube studio as well. As you can see, I kind of just, here, hold on. Kind of moving things around. So I got, I put the Hawk thing up on the wall finally, and got some lighting and stuff. I'm getting a new camera. This is going to be my B camera. So I'm actually going to have this camera kind of facing down on the mat here. So if I do like GPU stuff, I can switch in between.
That's what I did.
Yep. It's actually really good.
One sitting right up here. Yeah.
The best thing I ever did was get a butcher block table. Okay. Like an island butcher block table and make it a computer desk. There's so much room here, and it's not cluttered. It's amazing. And I have a separate little table my desktop sits on right behind it, and it can go up and down. So, Red Fox says, is that a fiddle leaf fig tree? Real? No, it's not real. It's not real. No. I wasn't going to go that far. Actually, it looks pretty real though. It was on Amazon. It was like $100 on Amazon. So it wasn't bad. And then Kristen got me like the thing for the bottom.
$100 for a fig tree?
I mean, yeah, $100. I don't know what it was. I wanted a fig tree because I didn't want. She wanted me to get this olive tree, and I'm just like, babe, it's huge, like 6 feet high. It's like, I want to just get a palm tree and just have it like sit in front of my camera like this, like it's just. But yeah, no, they're maybe it was like $80 or something. I don't know. I gotta look, but it was something around. It was around there. So just like you, making improvements, changing everything up. And I told Max earlier that I'm getting rid of the podcast style microphone. I'm going to a shotgun mic, and that's going to be, I got one from Audio Technica, and it's just going to sit like right above the frame here, and it'll sound just like this. And it actually will eliminate a lot of it gives me more of the minimalist look on the on camera without having to like make sure I don't move when I'm doing videos, because I move around when I talk. So it's sometimes my voice cuts out, and then if I turn the gate down too much, I get the echo and I have to get the sound. It's just a bunch of stuff you have to do. So yeah, that's my thing. So I got a bunch of stuff in the mail today. So when we're done live, I'm going to be putting it all together.
Nice. Looks good. I like it. It's like, I like the minimalist kind of like straight to the point look back there. It looks really good.
Yeah,
one tone in your background. I'm going to steal that somehow in what I got going on back here. I really like it. I think like the side walls that I got, because I've got like almost like a hutch or something back there where my desk is sitting, like a nook. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Maybe those side walls I'll black out like that, and then paint that dark blue.
Like there's so many different things. One YouTuber that I really like his lighting setups, Australian guy, and he does camera reviews. Oh God, what's his name? Is it Johnny something? Or he does reviews for cameras and stuff, and he has really good lighting setups. And I actually kind of took this idea from him. He has like a similar desk, and I'm like, I want to do something a little bit more professional because I want to take YouTube to the next level a little bit. I want to have a little bit more of a professional look. So, and that's just kind of the look I was going for. Minimalist, clean, but like still like appealing to the eye. You know what I mean? So
you're gonna have to do something other than black shirts, though. You're blending in.
I know. Yeah, I know. When I lose another 10 pounds, I'll go put a white one on. All right, how about that?
All right, so next year, got it.
Yeah, next year. All right. Well, it's the Terra shirt, so.
Mining King Tyson says you should make your bed. See it in the background.
That was my coat on, and I had to go outside and go get my stuff, man. And no, I don't care.
I just thought it was funny. Well, so I have a confession to make. My name is Max Voltage, and it's been 0 days since I bought a 4090. So
hi, Max.
Are you up to 11 yet?
Just like this in AA.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, today, where I was somewhere where I do my best thinking and was checking my phone. I'm like, I wonder what's at Best Buy. Holy crap. There's a open box 4090 for 13 whatever it is. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Right.
So bought another one.
You just sit on your phone all day hitting refresh on all those sites?
No, that I don't. I know that's what it seems like, but no. And the funny thing about it, it's the same store that I got the last one from at this around the same time too. Because I'm like wondering if they're like, yeah, maybe if we put it on a Saturday night, people won't be looking and we'll be able to pick it up. Like an employee will be able to pick it up the next day or something. I don't know. But I was like, can't believe it's the same store again.
I wonder why there's so many open boxes. People probably buy them and then realize they got to pay rent or something and then go return it.
I'm guessing.
That's what happened. One I was going to buy on OfferUp. The guy, it was cheap. He was selling it for like $1,400. And like a few months ago, I just couldn't muster up the money to buy it. And I'm like, why are you selling it? And he's like, I impulse bought this and I can't afford it. And I was like, geez, a lot of that happens a lot actually with graphics cards and computers and stuff. People let them go for mad cheap.
People they just watch that red furry guy and they're like, I want to be just like him and get in debt and buy 108 3070s.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. I'm clearing all my debt. I can't do it anymore. Like I can't. If I don't have the cash, I'm just not gonna buy it. That's just my preference. I know people can finance them and make money with it, and that's fine. But I had too much stress with debt, and I'm not putting myself in that position. I can't.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I know I'm taking a little bit of a risk, but
I mean,
I feel confident in it. And like I said, it's a slight risk in the fact that even if I had to sell it, I could sell it, especially if I'm buying open box. Could sell it for at least what I paid for it, or very close to it at a minimum. So yeah, I'm. So now I got to figure out. I probably have to buy. The only thing is, I do have to probably buy a few more of those things from like those risers and stuff. But I did get 4 going on that one rig this week, so that was good.
Nice.
That took like a couple of days to kind of get squared away. I made about every mistake I could possibly make putting that thing together because there's really not much you can do to screw it up, but I found a way. So I figured out my mistakes and got it up. So anyway, but yeah, so it's starting early. So Red Fox said, Litecoin to the moon. Yes, from your lips to God's ears. Because man, I've been taking a lot of abuse.
I mean, we all knew Casper was going to do it was going to pump and it was going to move, but everybody's jumping on this Casper train, man. Everybody needs to just hold off, dude. Like a lot of people buying these IB Link units and and paying it. Like the prices of the IB Link units are up $2,000 in 48 hours. Like everybody needs to just slow down. Like I think we're still not technically in the bull run yet. There's going to be another reset. Just wait. This one guy wanted to buy 4 of them. I'm like, bro, it's like $65,000. Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, man, it's going to the moon. I'm like, okay, no problem. I kind of, I don't know. Like it's like some moral dilemma that I have with sales. Like, yeah, I can make good money selling these units to this guy, but I would feel bad if I don't say something. And then if you do it anyway, and then you still want to buy it, cool, man. That's great.
No way, man. Magic China boxes, they just print money.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Talking about?
When I was in mortgages and I'd have somebody come in and say, yeah, I'm buying this house and okay, how, going over the income. Okay. Where are you getting it? Well, I'm still going to buy this house. How do I do it? I've heard there's these no doc loans. I'm like, but you still got to have the money to pay for the mortgage. Oh yeah. I got, my parents will float me the money or this, that, and the other thing. It's always like, dude, this is not a good idea. But if you absolutely want to do it, it's my job to write the loan and figure out a way to get you the mortgage. Oh, there he's back.
Yeah.
Dropped out for a second, King.
Sorry,
so
hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah, good old hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah, actually, it was interesting. Every single one of those coins on the thumbnail had a better week than Caspa. And there were other coins too. Even Ergo had a better week than Caspa.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Give me a sec.
And he's gone.
But yeah, CKB is doing well. Sia Coin, you had mentioned, yeah, Sia Coin is doing
like
really,
60%
really well.
Or something.
Yeah.
For the week, yeah.
Yep. So heck, even Flux was up to over 70, over 70 cents. So I think it hit what did it hit, like 73 cents, something like that. So I think it's down to like 71 cents. So it's doing well. So I'm like, seriously, do you think we're in the altcoin season?
No, I don't. This is just these are money flowing in and out of the markets, going into Bitcoin, coming out of Bitcoin, going into alts, coming out of alts, going back into Bitcoin. This isn't. No. Well, if it's anything like the last one, because that's the only like bull cycle I've been through, and this is my first, bear cycle. It's going to be like, holy shit, it went up how many points overnight? Okay, it was $2, now it's $7, or you know what I mean? Like It's going to be huge jumps, and we're not there yet. I think we're far from there.
I would agree, but it is kind of interesting because I don't remember this prior to the last bull run. Like we had this pump, the altcoin pump. I can understand Bitcoin at this point, but the altcoin pump, that's what I find really, really interesting. Oh, going to get your stuff?
No, I just wanted to like look and see like so this is like just a few things that I got. I have boxes of stuff. I'm not gonna open them all, but
where's your?
I actually went to go check my my son was standing up in the crib. I went to go put him back down, and he just went. I was like, okay.
I do that too.
Yeah. No. He's right here, and so now he's like back. I just leave it on my desk because my girlfriend and GPU risers have the same sleep schedule. So by like 9, they're out. Right. So
nice.
Yeah. So.
Go figure. So what do you think, Hog? You think we're in altcoin season?
I think it's too early to tell. A lot of people are, things are pumping, things are up, and that's great. And it's it's so funny because Charles Hoskinson talks about these kinds of people like they're just number go up people, right? Number go up, woo, number go up. And I don't think we're in it yet. I think we're getting a taste of what it's going to be like. I think there'll be another reset. It's not really going to start officially till the halving, right? I mean, I think everybody just needs to go, okay, things are good now. Let's not take it for granted. Let's just slow down. Everybody, gradually get into things. And, if you got like, I sold half my bag of lithium, right? I took some profit, took it. I still have a good amount left in there. I'm just afraid everybody's going to be buying. I'm really worried about these Caspa ASICs. Okay. Like everyone's going to be buying these things. And I just feel like some people are going to get wrecked. Like, everybody needs to slow down with these things. The prices are so high, like for these things. Like
Dave Hall in the chat said it's FOMO season.
It's FOMO season. That's exactly what it is. Fear of missing out season.
Yeah,
That's the best way to put it. This is not the bull run yet. I know I'm not trying to smash everybody's dreams and make you feel bad, or but it's not the bull run yet. We're having spikes here and there. Things are looking good. There's a lot of positive news. But this is technically not it yet. So let's just take a deep breath. Let's slow down. Let's analyze what we're doing. And that's it. Let's not jump straight to, oh, I got to buy it. I mean, because look, the KS3M, when we were selling those, okay, I watched them go from 4,000 to 7,000, back down to 3,000, up to 8,000, then 11,000. And guess at which number, guess which one people were buying the most?
The most expensive.
11,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I sat and I told people, and I have messages. I tell most of the clients, I say, hey guys, like, be very careful buying these machines. And then they started having problems, and then Ice River went AWOL, and nobody knew what was going on. They couldn't get them fixed. And now they're apparently the new firmware, the latest firmware, seemed to have stabilized a few machines, but it's just Everybody needs to slow down with that.
I think the summertime is going to be brutal for those KS3Ms
Hmm.
because there is some that still have some thermal issues, right, or riding that line on thermal throttling during the winter right now. So when it becomes
Yeah.
Yeah, King's out.
He'll
that-
catch up.
that's
Don't
right.
worry. Hold on. Give me a second.
summer
catch up.
basic,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
he's out again. Yeah.
Good
But
stuff.
what King's point is that it's in the summertime is when you're really going to see these cast basics take the beating, right?
Yeah.
We're going to see exactly what it is because a lot of people, as DJ would call it, little Timmy doesn't have a giant heating cooling solution, or he just puts it in his garage and lets it rip, right? So that's going to be the difference. Savage White Zero says, Hawk, doesn't the market usually drop in March?
No.
Drop hard in March. I mean, guys, we have so many things at play right now that we didn't have in previous markets. Like, people don't realize, like, these ETFs were a giant, like, thing that changed a lot of things. Like, 550 million a day of Bitcoin was being bought. $550 million a day, like, by these companies and ETFs. And I think that went on. Crypto Frank can correct me. He's the one that told me in chat. That went on for like 2 or 3 days. Like, just tons and billions of dollars is being poured in that we've never had before this fast, right? I don't know, man. I think there's a good possibility that post-halving Bitcoin stays consistent, and I don't think we'll see a massive hash rate drop, because if we stay, I really think we might hit 60 grand before the halving. I don't know. If that happens, then nobody, the whole cycle for Bitcoin is going to be changed as far as predictions go, because now it's going to look a little different.
The other thing is,
But
you're talking
we'll
about
see.
March as in like 4 years ago March, but what was 4 years ago March?
Yeah,
The whole world came to a stop, a standstill,
literally.
because of a
Yep.
absolutely unprecedented event. So you can't look at that and say, oh, well, this is what it did 4 years ago. It is definitely not going to replicate that. I don't know what it's going to do, but it isn't going to replicate that.
So Crypto Frank is somebody that really studies this stuff, and he's got people that he knows in banking and a lot of connections. And he said it's looking like sub 40,000 Bitcoin is gone forever. I agree with that. I don't think it'll ever go below 40. Joker Miner with the $4.99 super chat says, Mining King, thank you for all the hard work at Terra these past 2 weeks. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Joker.
Than's King for ignoring
Oh,
my phone calls.
and hi, son. Joker Miner says, member for 12 months.
King's going in and out. I do think sub 40,000 Bitcoin, unless there's some major catastrophe or something major happens, is just gone. You know what I mean? When it hit 25,000, that was your time. That was your low. That was your time to get in. And, that's it. I don't think. I mean, again, Warren Buffett says it the best. No one can predict the markets. Nobody knows. There's no crystal ball. You chart readers and all these fancy magicians, they don't know. Nobody can predict the market. So we'll see how it
You
goes.
mentioned him because I was just reading an article today that Berkshire Hathaway's, the company that, obviously Berkshire Hathaway is a combination of companies.
Right.
The largest, the best performing company in the portfolio in 2023 was a company that was a crypto exchange in Brazil. It did other things like banking and things like that, but it was also a crypto exchange. And they increased their investment over time. So find that interesting. Is Buffett maybe coming around? At least a little bit?
There was an article I read that he has a board of directors for Berkshire Hathaway, right? And he has to answer to these people. And he was actually almost removed for refusing crypto, saying that he didn't want to get involved. And they basically forced his hand. Like, yes, he's a very smart man, one of the best, going to go down in history. Everybody knows it. Probably one of the best traders Wall Street's ever seen. But he was very old school. Like, who's the other guy that recently passed away? What was his name? Charlie Munger? Was that his name? Charlie? Was it Charlie Munger? Was that him?
Yeah.
The guy was like, he hated it. There's people from the old generation that do, accept new things. Okay, like, their parents. There's people that are my grandparents' age that talk about Bitcoin and crypto, but then there's also a lot of people that are stuck in their ways. And he's made so much money from the way that he's used to it. When you say crypto and there's this new asset now and they don't understand it too well, everything's going to be called a scam. Crypto Frank says these ETFs are going to hold BTC no matter what. Now, if war breaks out or shit hits the fan, the BTC will be some of the only ways to secure money since the banks will be closed in those cases. That's yes. Mining King says $20 super chat says, I'm just going to watch tonight. The Wi-Fi here is really bad right now. All right, King. We love you.
Sorry, man. But if you go to the lobby, though, I'm telling you, remember, Wi-Fi is a lot better out there. So if you change your mind, you are welcome back.
But, you know, it's like it's the unknown, and everyone's trying to make predictions on what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And it's the unknown that's driving all this, all the views on YouTube. It's driving all the FUD. It's driving all the FOMO. It's like, oh man, it's a bet. You know, it's a flip of a coin. Do I buy $100,000 worth of ASICs? Do I just buy 100,000 in Bitcoin? What's going to be better? And blah 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 blah. And I know because I get the emails from people wanting to host. They say, well, what do you think? I'm like, I can't tell you what I think. I can't tell you because it's financial advice. I can't convince you or tell you to buy something and then host it for me. And then if it goes bad, guess who you're going to point at? Mm-hmm. So I would never do that. I would just always say, exactly.
That's an awesome.
Isn't that the Wall Street Bets? Isn't that the Wall Street Bets guy?
It is.
Oh my God.
I love that.
The apes. That was for the AMC thing. I still haven't
seen that movie. What movie was that? The Wall Street Bets.
I don't know. There was a documentary about the AMC and GameStop pump.
Yeah.
The AMC one, man, was. I remember exactly where I was. I was on duty, and I remember my phone started beeping like crazy. My Charles Schwab stuff started notifying me, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I look at my account; it was like 80 grand. I'm like, "Sell." Sorry, this page can't be found, or like it was like a disconnect.
Gotcha.
Sell. So I sold. Yep. By the time it was able to go through, I lost 20,000 in profit.
Jesus.
Which didn't matter because I mean I bought 5,000 of AMC and it was worth 60. Sold it for 60. So, but
still, it's ridiculous. That's part of the problem with like traditional markets is they can stop trading.
They stopped it twice.
Yeah,
they stopped trade. They paused trading. Yeah.
And what are you going to do about it?
Nothing. Nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It was called Dumb Money, I think.
Yeah.
That was was that the documentary Dumb Money? Or something like that. It was something like Dumb Money or something. Yeah. Magic Lucky said Dumb Money. It rings a bell. Yeah. So, I mean.
DCA raid. What's up, guys?
What's up, DCA?
Yep. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. But yeah, there's two movies. Oppenheimer and Dumb Money are the two movies I really want to see.
Oppenheimer was great.
Ooh, I know you mentioned that.
Oppenheimer was a fantastic movie. I mean, everybody knows I'm really big into history, and Oppenheimer was a movie I was glued to the couch on. Like, it was such a great movie.
Did you watch the Chernobyl show, the most recent one?
No, I haven't seen
how recent was that one?
It might have been last year or the year before.
I thought it was there was one that was a few years old. I saw that one.
Maybe it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was really good. It was very accurate.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd like that, Hawk.
Yeah, dude, I love history movies, man. And you know what's funny is I started watching documentaries and like old videos of like the financial system and how it worked and how it got put in, how certain things got put into place. Like one documentary, I can't remember the name of it, but it was post 2008, like about the financial markets and what they did to change things. Like the stock market is completely different from what it was, prior to 2008 and 2007 when we had all those CDOs and the market crash and all that, which the banking crisis that we had recently, they're saying that it's even bigger than what happened in 2008. And it was over $580 billion from banks across the world were just lost. And we saw it with the Silicon Valley Bank. We saw it with a lot of different stuff. But this time around, people weren't stupid. And people diversified, so it didn't hit the economy as hard as 2007 did, right? Because that was housing, right? So this was different. So housing is the bedrock for the American economy, or it's supposed to be. So this time the crisis was 3 times as big, but it didn't affect the average person too much, which is why nobody really complained.
The government was also a little bit better prepared.
Correct. They were also prepared.
They knew what they were going to do. Let's put it that way. It wasn't like, oh my God, what are we going to do? They had already prepared and said, okay, these banks are too big to fail. Like literally, there's banks that are labeled as too big to fail and will be bailed out no matter what.
You have to, because what's the alternative? It's
Right.
the lesser of two evils. You bail them out, you know, some pompous asshole gets rich off of it, but it saves jobs, it saves the economy. People don't lose their homes, their jobs.
Also, those particular banks also have greater scrutiny placed upon them, so they have greater reporting requirements and things like that. So it's somewhat of a two-way street.
It is, right. And unfortunately, you can't have one without the other.
Right.
So
it's all smoke and mirrors.
It can be, you know, like in 2008, after all that scamming that they did, only one person went to jail. The guy from Swiss Bank or Banks Credit Suisse went to jail for doing the same thing that our American banks did on a daily routine. Okay, and nobody saw prison time, huh?
That's what you get for being the fall guy.
Yeah.
But nobody saw, like, it's crazy. Think about this for a second. That was arguably the biggest crash since 29. Okay, that we had in 2007, 2008, and nobody went to jail, and it was clearly that they were asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
Like,
that was predicted by not just the people that were trying to profit from it, but was predicted at least a year and a half. Like I said, I heard Bill Dallas say exactly that the housing is going to crash. Like literally said it. This cannot continue, and it's a normal cycle in the fact that you have, values go up, and therefore it's harder to afford, and so there's looser underwriting restrictions in order to keep the home, the percentage of people that own a home higher and higher, and there's this vicious cycle, and it just kept going. It kept going, and you knew it was going to be a big crash. He's like, the longer the bull run, the bigger the crash.
Well, they had Ninja loans, no income, no job application, Ninja, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they had. Like, and I remember when I was like, I left high school, I was going to work at this place called First Universal. It was a mortgage company right around when all this was happening. And it was like a boiler room. There was desks everywhere, people picking up, just like Wolf of Wall Street, like people screaming, holding stuff. And I'm just like it was just crazy. But anyway, how does this pertain into mining? Well, if the economy does bad, mining is going to do bad. So it's all tied together, whether you guys like it or not. Crypto is no longer in its own league. Everything is now moving into one.
So sorry, tying that all back around. What's very interesting is, we've talked about this a little bit, but the fact that we were heading into a year where inflation was supposedly under control, and that we were going to start seeing reductions in interest rates, which would make for a weaker dollar.
Right.
Which means we would benefit from that with the Bitcoin price versus US dollars. Well, right now we're seeing the Bitcoin go up, but we're not seeing interest rates go down. We're seeing inflation being really stubborn.
Yeah. So
it's going to be really interesting, because right now I wouldn't think that Bitcoin would be where it is with how strong the dollar is right now. So again,
this is what the ETFs do, though. There's so much money buying into Bitcoin that this there's no more like swing from. It's going to change. Everything's going to change. Like it's not going to go dollar weak, Bitcoin high, Bitcoin low, dollar strong. It's not going to. I don't think we're going to see massive fluctuations like we had in previous cycles with the dollar in regards to Bitcoin, because there's so much money being poured into it. Now, what I'm afraid to see is another, recession come in, and then everybody starts selling their Bitcoin and starts selling, the cash is out of those, those funds, right? And they want to take their cash back. That would be that I think would hurt Bitcoin more than anything. But then again, man, like
there's so
I don't know. Nobody knows. Like
there was a really interesting. So I love, if you guys haven't watched Chump in the Morning, the stuff he puts on there is amazing. It's very interesting stuff that's being talked about. And one of the ones that was talked about this morning, I think it was this morning. It might have been yesterday, but I think it was this morning. Anyway, talked about the fact that Grayscale could go into the S&P 500.
Great.
And they're like, what is that going to do? Again, that's just going to kind of feed that same cycle. Yeah. And they've been buying Bitcoin. So now all of a sudden their value goes up even more, because anytime a company goes into the S&P 500, it goes up in value quite a
Correct.
bit because all of those index funds have to buy that particular stock to balance out everything.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty interesting. They said Coinbase technically would qualify except for one thing. It's operating at a loss. If it starts operating at a profit, I think it's 6 quarters or something like that. It has to make a profit for 6 quarters. Then it can qualify. So it could actually get into the S&P 500 as well at some point.
I think it's very fair to say we're going to see 100K Bitcoin. I mean, if it goes on this rate and they keep buying so much, you know, I think by December, January, maybe even, you know, spring next year, we're going to be over 100K. And that's just going to be I mean, if you look at how fast.
I'm thinking by the end of the year, easy.
Yeah, I was trying to be a little more conservative, but
I know the more I'm hearing about this, the more I'm thinking that we are all underestimating where this will be during this bull run. Because I don't know exactly when we'll get to this change, but there's already been people that are taking care of retirement money, independent financial advisors, are already on average saying that they will put somewhere around 2% of their, or recommend 2% of their investors or 2% of their investors' funds go into Bitcoin. And if that happens, that's $150 billion just there. That's not pension money at all. And that's not, I forget, broker dealers. It's nothing like that. That would even be more. Pension funds, if they ever get to that point, that's going to be a huge amount of money, more money going into Bitcoin. So it's a matter of when will that adoption take place? That's going to be a real key.
Profit Monster, he makes a good point in his comment here, and not to get into politics, but the election is going to decide a lot of that too, right? If we get the next president who is big business friendly, I guess is the way I want to explain it, then it could rally the market even more, right? We could definitely hit over 100 easily, right? If not, it could maybe stagnate, but eventually it'll still go up later on. But it is true, whoever gets in office that's gonna play an effect, right? The elections are always, so this is gonna be a very important year. We have a presidential election. You know, we have the ETFs coming on. Mining is going to I think it's really going to take off this year. Crypto Frank said,
I'll take the counterpoint on that one, because if you look at it, people thought that the markets would be down by now, and they haven't gone down. They keep going up under a Democratic president. So not friendly to big business, but yet it's still going up. So the economy is somehow, some way, finding a way to continue to grow, even though a lot of indicators are showing. I mean, if you look at the number of people, you guys hear it every day. How many layoffs are you hearing? I'm hearing them every day.
Well,
on the news, this company's laying off. This company's laying off.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
a big one
back in 2001 when there were a ton of layoffs, and what did we head into? We head into a recession. So yeah, again, we had 9/11, so that obviously played into it as well. But everything that I feel about what's going on and talking to people, it's like, how is the market still going up? So what I find interesting is I think between now and the end of the year, we're gonna have a downturn, a significant downturn day in the market that's going to shock people. And that's going to be the point at which I think we're going to start. That'll be like the first step into going into a recession. It's been too long since we've been in a recession.
So like
really the first recession that we just had. What was that?
So like another Bloody Monday kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it won't be that. I mean, I'm thinking a day where, we'll have a 5% down day.
Yeah.
And the markets will halt and all that kind of stuff. I just really feel like sometime, maybe, July or something like that would be my thought. But maybe. I don't know. That's just my feeling.
A lot of people are afraid that a recession, like this big recession, is going to come. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say
it's a big recession, but we haven't even gotten a recession. I mean, we did technically have that 2 month or 2 period recession. So I mean, yes, but we really haven't picked up. Like Normally, a recession, we come down and we start going back up. We've been kind of waffling. I just feel like eventually that it's going to go right back down again.
I like
See,
waffles.
people are talking about layoffs, but there's been a lot of new industry coming to the States, and there's been a lot of new industry and a lot of jobs that are hiring a lot of people. I think yes, layoffs are happening. And I know this because I'm like Max, I do read up on this. But what people are missing out is like, you got to understand something. The news, and especially on YouTube, you don't see a lot of great news getting good views. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. But you see bad news getting 1 million views a video, right? Same thing when it comes to reporting this stuff. Nobody's saying, okay, let's not focus on so many people getting laid off, but these are how many jobs that we're getting in this sector. Okay, so X and Y, right? X is number of people laid off. Y is people that have gotten new jobs. We're only talking about X. No one's looking at Y in the transfer of industry, because there's a huge transfer right now between people doing old stuff that they don't want to do anymore. They're quitting or whatever, and they're going to work in different industries, and these new industries can't find enough people.
Well,
so it's like
there is that, but if you look at some of the latest numbers have been, yes, all these people are getting laid off, and yes, there are all these jobs, but what kind of jobs are they? A lot of them are part-time. So,
well, a lot of them are also specialized, new jobs that weren't there before. Like when in history did we have AI engineering? We didn't.
Right.
It's a new industry that's up and coming, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, where technology is advancing to the point where, I mean, I say it all the time at work, you know, AI is not going to take your job. People that know how to use AI are going to take your job.
it'll be more of a job assistance factor. It's not going to be we're not at that. We're maybe 50 to 100 years away between a machine going to serve you drinks at a bar. Okay, let's just be honest.
But you're talking about a service where it actually requires more like the thinking job. I mean, think about how many customer service jobs have been lost because of the crappy systems that we all call into.
Yeah.
Well, they did that to themselves.
No, I'm saying that I think that those systems will get much, much better, which means that you'll need even fewer customer service people. So there's going to be those jobs that will be lost that can be replaced by AI.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I mean, to your point, Hawk, you know, we will eventually get to a point. I mean, I think Japan just opened the first McDonald's that's completely automated. There's no people there except for the robot repairman. All this great technology out there, somebody's got to fix it when it breaks.
Yeah.
So it helps like people to kind of make themselves, you know, trained to stay up with technology and to stay ahead of the game or get left behind.
Correct. And this is something Elon Musk spoke about. And I listen to when that guy speaks, because, hey, you know, the proof's in the pudding. The guy's created multiple companies that have been successful because of leadership. He talks and he says when AI really starts getting into play and, you know, the normal jobs, like, for example, I think his example was like a sanitation worker, right? That can be off-put to a robot or a bot, right? He says eventually a UBI is what we're going to need, and that's a universal basic income. You're going to need that eventually. The economy is going to change now in the next 20, 30 years, because when machines are replacing jobs for people still have to survive. And let's just say, you know, there's not a healthy balance, right? Like Canada right now, I call it Canada, but Canada is actually working on trying to figure out how they can implement a universal basic income. Panda can confirm that with you, because I've spoken to him about this and showed him the articles on it. They're working on that model, right? We tried to do the socialist type of everybody equal, and that was Europe. And Europe's been a failed experiment for the last fucking 60 years. I don't care what anybody tells you. Europe is a failed experiment. So now we have to figure out new ways to revolutionize the economy. And this is going to play into everything that we do, as being crypto miners, jobs, to the dollar, whatever. So now it's going to be an interesting time to be alive, because we're going to come to a fork in the road when it comes for people and jobs, you know, and things. And there's going to be more people gaining. Now with crypto, this is the kind of you know, the odd man out, right? Crypto comes in and allows people to basically bank themselves. I mean, you could do it if you wanted to. Think about it. You can completely take your money out of banks, get a hardware wallet, and you can bank yourself. You can do it. There's ways to do it. It's a pain in the ass, but you can do it. That's going to become more of a thing. It's going to become more of a thing. Am I wrong, Max? I saw you shake your head.
No, I shook my head because I had a flash of a picture of what Hobbyist just said.
Oh, what did he say?
Which was about his OnlyFans channel.
Oh, geez.
Oh, my gosh.
Nope. No, thank you.
Nope. Anyway, he was talking about the fact that job market isn't any better. They love fluffing the numbers. Husband and wife must work to stay afloat. Most people have a second job or side hustle to do a second full-time job just to stay poor. And that is true. I know a lot of people that are doing that.
We're going to have good times and bad times, but now the economy that even I grew up in, right, is completely different from what we're leading into, right? So,
Sorry, I'm looking at Red Panda. He just said, "Give me 2,000 universal income a month, thank you."
Well, I mean, if there's machines replacing jobs, you're going to have that problem, right? So companies are going to pay more in tax because they're not paying labor, right? It's going to offset probably. And then that money is going to be used to go pay a universal basic income for people, right? And that's what's going to eventually happen. The economy has to evolve. The problem is the people steering the ship are 100 effing years old, and there's nobody new and young that wants to innovate to change things. And until we get younger people in leadership positions in every facet of whether it's crypto or politics or government, Wall Street, whatever, even bigger companies, things are going to stay status quo. And they're going to resist the change as much as they can. And then what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a crash, right? Because the people want something different and the leaders are saying another, and then there's going to be a forced change. And then that's when it'll change. We have to force them to change it. We can't ask them to do it because they won't. It takes money out of their pockets. It changes a bunch of things. So when the boomers, and I say this with respect, when the boomers don't know who they are anymore, that's when new people have to go in there and go, okay, enough of this old system. It don't work. And it doesn't work. It doesn't. It's hanging on by a thread. So
the problem I see with that is the people that are the next in line behind the boomers, the not so boomers, are going to come in and see how nice of a cushion those boomers have made it, and aren't going to change a thing because they're taken care of, right? They've already had raises voted in to the point where they don't need to do anything else because they're set, right? So, I mean, what would you do realistically? What would you do if we're set to take over this position by these people that made the job super easy and super lucrative? Would you make changes for the better good? I mean, a lot of people would, and a lot of people wouldn't. You
need people, and again, I'm not riding the guy or anything, but you need people like Elon Musk. You need people like Robert Kennedy. You need people that are young, like the younger guys that are want to. Now Robert Kennedy's not really young, but he's pro crypto, he's pro technology, right? You need these people for this next economy. Like Elon Musk should be definitely, when he's done doing his thing, and he should definitely, because think of it, the guy single-handedly saved human space flight, okay, which he did because NASA wasn't doing anything. You need people like this that aren't going to listen to everybody else and are just going to do for what they think is better, and they're going to innovate, and you need this type of leadership in politics.
I feel like the people that would do good in those positions because they've been successful in their careers won't, because they see it like an immovable boulder, or a boulder that can only move so many inches, right? And being in that position, you're used to making those strides, and
yep.
You know what I mean? It's like it's almost more work than it's worth, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze to them? When you sit there and look at your pros and cons, right. and you actually formulate it on a sheet that says, this is the amount of time and effort I'm going to put into it, and this is the outcome. A lot of them, especially at the end of their career, like if Elon, it's all said and done, and he's done all the great things, and he's said, all right, I'm done, I'm moving on, I'll pass this on to whoever. He's not going to go into office. I don't think he will.
Some people have, though.
You're right. Yeah,
some people have. I'm not saying he has to do
Reagan,
it.
right?
Right. Well, Reagan, he's an actor. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, the next group of people, what's going to make the difference is the next generation has to go in there and say, you need somebody with a pair of balls to say, okay, no, we can't do this no more. This has got to change, right? And the old way will die. It'll die. It'll die with the generation who started it, okay? Because it's been like that for 80 years. It'll die with the generation who started it. They'll get voted out, and it all comes down to people. Then we're going to see different things happen, right? You got to... It doesn't necessarily have to be a generational problem as much as it is an educational problem, right? Like, the craziest thing I saw the other day, and I posted it on my Twitter, was Elizabeth Warren signed something for like Satoshi Nakamoto, like acknowledging that he created it or something like that, right? And then she goes to Capitol Hill prior to that and says Bitcoin's used for criminals. I'm sitting there like, what? Get these people out of decision-making roles, okay? Because this ain't working. This ain't going to be good for our economy, my kids, when my son is old enough. Like, this ain't going to be good. We got to change, and this is what crypto can do. So anyway, I know we're kind of...
So what you're saying is hot crypto for 2024 for office.
No, believe it or not, I've actually thought, when I'm older and I'm out of my career and I'm retired, semi-retired, I've actually thought about pursuing a career in politics. Because, I mean, everybody says this and everybody says they want common sense policy and all this other stuff. And then you get into it and, like you said, right, the system is different. And it's the people in there that kind of guide you and say, no. We don't do good things for people here. We do things that make money. And then people change. That is what has to change.
Yeah.
Right? So if you take the money out of politics and you give them term limits, two things. You just do those things, the change will happen overnight. But it's going to take somebody with cojones to go in there and say, hey, that's it. Term limits. You guys are all done. We're done with this bullshit. Right? Term limits.
I mean, that was how our founding fathers thought about it in the first place, which was you go there, you take care of some business, and you go back to work. You serve your 4 years for your country,
right,
doing the job, and now it's become so lucrative with all their fundraising and makes me sick.
Like the fundraising rules are bullshit. Yeah. Like it's good. They can keep part of it, and if you don't even get it, like they don't have to return all of it, right? And then there's like this managerial fee, and it's like just so much. It's such bullshit. It's got to change. And this is what crypto threatens, by the way. This is why a lot of the old timers don't like it, because it threatens their system. This is why we need proof of work. Okay, we don't need proof of stake. We need proof of work coins that gain enough value that we can use outside of the dollar, like Bitcoin. Okay, we need proof of work. Believe it or not, is the threat. It's not crypto. It's proof of work. Crypto. That's the threat.
So Red Panda says, "I would make Hawk MAGA the situation hat."
Yeah, no, thanks. No, thanks. But that's really what we need, though. Proof of work crypto is the only thing you can't control. Watch. Yeah. This is their attempt right now. This is their attempt to try to control Bitcoin. And when it fails, and it will, that's going to be the underlying foundation to where they lead with crypto. They're like, all right, cool. We're going to open up the floodgates. We're going to let this money in. We're going to see what we can do. And when they realize they can't control it, it's going to send a clear message to everybody in the crypto space. Hey, proof of work is the only resistance you guys have to control. Mm-hmm. It's true. Because when Ethereum went proof of stake, 60% of the validators are stateside. U.S. government walks in and tells Vitalik Buterin, hey, fuck you, man. We have control over your network now. You have to answer to the government. That's what happened. And he don't care. He don't give a shit. His pocket's lying. He's a billionaire. He doesn't give a shit. I control what you want. I don't give a shit. He started with the right idea, and then he got corrupted. This is why I watch Charles Hodgkinson a lot, and I watch his videos, because I think a lot of people don't like this guy because he's uncorruptible. In my opinion, he's uncorruptible. Like, he speaks about it all the time. He goes, the Orange Moon Boys and the number go up people. He makes fun of them because it's a joke. You guys got to watch his channel. It's really good. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So
yeah, he definitely does some good videos.
He does great stuff. He just sits in front of his computer and he talks for 45 minutes. And he gives you insight on when crypto first started, because he was one of the guys that was around, developing early on, So I like the guy. I think he does great stuff.
All right. Let's
moving
get more
forward.
directly into crypto. What are you guys mining right now?
Well, let me hold on.
Nothing really.
Before we do this,
Nothing at the moment.
where are these ETFs buying crypto from? Because there's only like less than 2 million on all of the exchanges altogether combined, right? Out of the 21 million out there, or maybe 18 million that's not gone forever. Where are these ETFs buying this from? Like, are they buying it OTC from individuals, or
So
what?
rumor has it that mining facilities, major companies like the Riots, the large farms that are hodling the virgin Bitcoin are selling it to them at a premium.
Okay.
So that's where they're getting a lot of it. That's only because there's a major farm in just outside of Kansas, I think, or it's in Kansas. I think King knows a little more than me, but I started talking to a few people that, you get in the industry, you start talking to people, right? And they're selling virgin Bitcoin that's hasn't gone anywhere, and they're selling it to these people, right? They're not buying it off of exchanges. And by the way, if anybody's mining to NiceHash, it's not virgin Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to throw that out there right now.
Yeah.
NiceHash is not virgin Bitcoin. I think pretty soon they're going to need more, and they're going to open up some sort of exchange somewhere where I don't know how it's going to work or how they're going to be able to confirm it, but they're going to be like, well, if you can sell us and prove that this is virgin Bitcoin, we'll pay you a 20% premium, because that's what the mining farms are. They're paying 20-30% over for the virgin Bitcoin right now. They're making a killing.
And wait, what happens in April? There's going to be half as much of it available.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering where Riot got $330 million to build a gigawatt facility.
Yeah.
Okay. It's because they sold
investors.
most of their shit for 30% over. Imagine how much money these guys got. Like, that's insane. Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, we'll give you this Bitcoin. Fund this project. No problemo. Because in the long run...
Yeah.
You guys know what Bitcoin's difficulty is at now?
What is it?
81.73 trillion. It's gone over 80 trillion.
Good. Less control.
Going. It's just going to keep going.
Let it double. Let the price double too. It's less control. I'm telling you, I think they're going to realize that they can't control Bitcoin. And there's going to be a hard crash. Not too hard where we'll see the price dip too much, but it'll definitely come down a lot when rumors, when they accumulate all this stuff and they think they can manipulate the price like they do the stock market. Crypto market operates differently, especially Bitcoin. They bought over $1 billion in Bitcoin in 48 hours. And what did the price do? 2%, 3%?
Yeah, not much.
Right? Not much. Then later on, we saw more movement, like weeks later, right? So... we'll see.
Yeah, and that's just it. Again, like you said, it didn't come off the exchanges, so it didn't immediately impact the money. Like if they spent all of that on Coinbase and Binance, dude, it would have gone straight up.
So Crypto Frank posted something. They're talking about Coinbase in the chat. He said they had a profit of $243 million because they're acting as the middleman for VCs, right? Which I hate Coinbase. I don't like Coinbase at all. I think it's completely it's in the hands of everybody else. I use Kraken. I like Kraken, and I'll use some DeFi exchanges. But I don't like Coinbase. I hate it, as a matter of fact. I hope their system would crash. I just don't like Coinbase at all. But they've got, just like Ethereum did, they said, okay, we can't beat them, join them, and that's what they did. Well, Coinbase ain't made the news. Coinbase had to sue the government for answers. Hey, how do we do this?
Right.
That's why they're loved so much, because they went in there. They're like, what's his name that asking for porridge? Please, sir, can you please just tell me how to do this? We're only worth about $10 billion. Can you help us?
Isn't that little Timmy?
I don't know. I don't know. It's an old movie.
I know what you're talking about. It's Christmas Story.
No, it's not Christmas Story. It's earlier than that. Oliver was the little boy's name. Is like the little boy Oliver saying, "Please, sir, I like some more." When he was putting up, it's an old movie. Anyway, that's not the point. It's the analogy. That's what they're doing. I don't remember what movie it was. It was Oliver. I just can't remember. Scott, what movie was that? It's old. It's like from the 40s or 50s. But anyway, that's what they're doing. And people are selling virgin Bitcoin for 30% more.
So
Mind-boggling to me.
one, there's a site called CoinGlass, and you can see the balances of all the Bitcoin or different cryptos on the exchanges. FTX still has 0.47 Bitcoin that's registered. Yeah. I find that hilarious. And two, what if these ETFs start buying Bitcoin from the government that has seized all of this bad Bitcoin from the Silk Roads and all this other bullshit out there, and government gives it a wash and says, we understand and know the history, we confiscated it, now we're putting it back into circulation. How would that impact things?
Well, if the government gives them their seal of approval that they can use this because they've already knew where it's been, they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to vet because eventually you're just going to run out.
You're going to run out. And
then, well, wait a minute, hang on a second. How do we even know? They know that they have it. The question is, do they know how to get into it and get access to it?
Oh, yes. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me be honest with everybody here. There's certain parts of political government that are complete morons, okay? But there are people behind the scenes that know exactly what they're doing. Do not think for 1 second that the most powerful nation in the entire world, the richest nation in the entire world, did not get that way because there's morons behind the scenes. They know exactly what they're doing. The FBI has a crypto division, okay? Those are all the boys that they, basically, remember that scene in Neo? Not Neo, in The Matrix, when they tried to get Neo to join them and they said they'll wipe this slate clean. Remember that in the first movie? It's exactly what they did with a bunch of these early moon boys and these guys that were hacking exchanges. Hey, you come work for us. We'll make this go away. And you teach us how to use this stuff, or I'll put you in prison for the rest of your life.
They're still doing that today. I mean, cyber criminals will flip, and become part of, whatever 3-letter agency in their cyber division to help protect against, all these other new threats that are out there and shit.
If it was you, everybody would flip. I ain't going to jail for nobody. Hey man, hi, what's up? I'm in. How much you don't know how to set up a wallet? I will walk you through the whole process. Let's sit down. Let's go over it. Think about it. Nobody wants it. And these guys are nerds, man. How do you think they're going to do in jail?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to take the job immediately. They're going to go and say, 150,000 a year salary, and I teach you how to do this? Perfect, man. Let's do it. Come on. It's stupid. Money talks. So, anyway.
Red Panda says, I remember getting an email from the FBI. By the way, speaking of that, did you guys hear about, there was a woman in, I think it was Georgia or something, that got swindled out of 50 grand because I should have Sunflower Mama here. She was the one that told the story. But has anybody else heard anything about that, where it ended up going from one thing to another and finally got to the CIA and don't tell anybody, but if you pay us 50,000, we'll make this all go away. And
I don't know. Those scams are everywhere.
I know, but
happens every day.
This person lived in a $4 million house.
Yeah, and those are the ones that fall for it.
I guess. I just can't even believe it. But anyway.
Profit Monster asked a really good question. When first major virus or attack on BTC facilities? So this could be that could be a real problem, actually, right? You're definitely going to get the army of climate people who think that an ASIC machine throws out carbon monoxide. Okay. You're going to get those people because no, don't laugh. That's serious. That was actually a question on Capitol Hill. Don't these things pollute the environment? No, they don't. Well, yeah, they do. They're blowing out heat. Yeah, it's hot air. It's not greenhouse gases. They thought that, okay? That's how stupid, this is how stupid some people are. They thought that an ASIC or a GPU sucks in air like a car and carbon monoxide or dioxide, whatever. I get them confused.
Carbon dioxide, yeah.
Dioxide, sorry. That's what they thought it did. This is how stupid they are. So when that argument was pushed away, okay, now they're saying, now you're going to get the climate people coming around and say, this is using too much energy. Well, excuse me. Let's talk about energy for a second. The internet uses 10% of the world's internet. 10%. You're talking terawatts, okay? 10%. Nobody says a fucking word. Why? Because they can go on Facebook and bitch about it.
So Hyvon actually did a tweet today and said, it was, well, recently, I don't know if it was actually today, but anyway, I was reading it and it basically re-quoted a tweet from 2017 that said, by 2020, Bitcoin will have used all of the energy left in the world.
I saw that bullshit. That's
he's like, well,
dumb.
I don't know why I'm retweeting this because nobody could possibly read this tweet.
But it's so dumb that you would just like it's just a political army of people going around saying Bitcoin this and you can't do it, because the facts are the facts. Okay,
because the more extreme the statement, the more coverage it gets.
It's so
you believe
stupid.
This is the truth. Oh my gosh! Like, and then it just becomes this keeps being said
right.
until people believe it.
It's
crazy.
It's ass. And you know what? The truth comes out because, again, one guy that I like right now that he's actually going to be at Mining Disrupt. Guys, Mining Disrupt this year is going to be crazy. Tara's going to have a really good booth, but go on, and he's got a huge Twitter following. Go talk to Dennis Porter. Okay, he actively he's got states. Okay, to the point where they're introducing bills to protect Bitcoin mining facilities. It's awesome. Search Dennis Porter on Twitter. Okay, and he's bringing Bitcoin on he's fighting for Bitcoin on the political front. Right? We need more Dennis Porters. Okay, we need people going educating somebody and saying, you're using all this energy. Hold on, no, we're not. Actually, as a matter of fact, the Bitcoin mining facilities in Texas have improved the grid, which has virtually been unchanged since the 50s. Because they're bringing power and they're upgrading infrastructure in small areas that can't afford to do it. And in exchange, when there's a snowstorm, they curtail their units off. They shut their units down.
Well, it's think about it. If you could build something that you knew you had a guaranteed market for, like you're going to build it so, like, in power, let's say you're going to build a 1 trillion megawatt facility, whatever. And you're like, God, it's going to cost a lot of money. Am I really going to fulfill this demand? Am I building too much? Well, if you knew you had facilities that were going to need that demand, and so it was guaranteed that what you were building was going to be sold, that makes your business 10 times easier. You already have a built-in market for it. And oh, by the way, if somebody else needs some, because of a certain, the environment or whatever's going on and the weather, and now they'll curtail for you. Yeah, I got to pay them a little bit of money in order to do it.
So what?
It's a benefit.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the chat that they're laying framework down to ban mining farms. Here's where, I don't think they're doing that. Because it's going to come down to the state level. The federal government, that's overstepping on the federal side. They can't do that. Number one, the federal government can't do that. The state governments can do that. Certain states can say, we don't want that in our state. But then again, you get into our liberties and the Constitution, and it's going to go to the Supreme Court. We're probably going to win because there's going to be a lot of arguments. Our Constitution protects us from tons of shit. Okay? But this is where that frame of thinking can shoot everyone in the foot. Okay? If you ban mining farms in the U.S., you give the power to control the asset that is going to probably at that time have trillions of dollars worth of investments in, okay, to other countries. Because guess what? Yeah. If the U.S. is hedging tons of money against Bitcoin and you want to crash an economy, turn your mining facilities off. Turn your mining facilities off because you can't move your fucking Bitcoin without it.
Yep.
That's the dumbest thing in the whole world. That's like saying, oh, we got the fastest car, but I'm going to cut the fuel line because it's polluting the environment. Your car's going to die. You're going to get stuck and you're going to lose the race. It's just stupid. This is how they think. This is why we need people, again, like Dennis, who go around and they educate politicians and older people. And what the hell? Sure, we'll invest tons of money in crypto and then we'll ban mining because we don't like it because it blows too much hot air. Okay? And we'll just leave everyone else in foreign countries and our adversaries to control the mining farms. And then when we piss them off, they're just going to power them down. They say, fuck you. Well, now you got all this Bitcoin and you can't move it. That's my hawk rant for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live.
Nice. So back to my question I think I asked about 20 minutes ago. What are you mining? What are you mining?
What am I mining? I'm still mining Dogecoin. That's it.
You're not mining anything on GPU?
Paid out in Dogecoin. No. The only GPUs I have on are my 4090 and some of my 3090s on Vast. That's it.
By the way, Scott Scott Sheffield in the chat. Me and him started this conversation about 3:00 in the morning. Okay, when he was in Discord with me, and I had to go. I couldn't continue. And actually, really smart guy. Loved having a conversation with him. But we need people to like listen and wise up. We need more Scott Sheffields. I'll say that. Sorry. What am I mining, Max? Absolutely nothing.
Man, you guys are missing the boat. Nexilia.
I'm chilling right now. I'm chilling. I got a lot of work to do. Got to get the YouTube studio together. Got to move some stuff around. Got the solar panels being put back on hopefully soon. I can't go turn on a bunch of shit. I already got the VASA rigs running. Like I can't right now. I just can't do it.
Yep.
I got my VASA rigs running. Actually, VAS did get a little bit better. Pricing did go up a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, it's gonna go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yep. I think I got everything rented right now.
Yeah.
So pretty happy about that. Yeah, but I'm mining Nexilia on all my GPUs right now. And well, not the ones on VAST, but all my mining GPUs. And then I'm mining Elherium on the X16P right now.
What is it?
Elherium.
Is that the Spanish ETH?
I guess. I guess so. I don't know. I was just like, okay, I'm mining to this GTEH pool. And it's really easy to switch between coins. So I was just kind of going down mining pool stats and looking for ETH hash coins and looking to see what was in GTEH and like, okay, these will be easy to switch to. And what exchanges are they on? And so most of them are on. What was that?
How much longer do you have that for?
Just a few more days, I think. I gotta get with Mr. Red Panda to figure out where I'm sending this to next.
Okay. We'll talk about mining for a sec. All right.
I thought we just were, but go ahead.
ASIC mining, excuse me. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, sure.
ASIC mining. These are the units to avoid. Write this down. Please, for the love of God, don't buy any X5s. Okay? Stay away from the E9 Pros and don't buy any Ice River units.
X5, that's
Monero.
The Monero miner. Okay, yeah.
We're not hosting those three as of right now. King is fed up with the E9s, can't get them fixed. They won't work. They're just piles of trash.
The E9 Pro, right? Not the last generation E9.
I don't know anything about the last generation. I know the E9 Pro is a pile of dog shit. Okay, and guess what? They're not easy. They're not easy to fix. They're not. They're not. And be very careful with these IB links. Right now, King has given me the yellow light, not green or red, yellow light to accept IB link hosting orders for now. The minute they start acting up or we have anything, we're probably not going to take those either because can't guarantee the uptime with a lot of these units. We've had a guy with a brand new E9 Pro and we went to go get it fixed. The repair shop that was going to fix it closed. There's no repair. We can't find it. We're trying to search for more repair people stateside because we'll repair it as far as like King said earlier, replacing a power supply, a hash board, a control board, messing around. But when it comes down to like actual like heat tables and soldering, we don't do that. That's a specialized career and you got to send it to somebody who knows what they're doing. Right. So Boosted, I hope they do too. I'm just letting everybody know that they are notorious. They have a high failure rate. Not saying all of them fail. Some of them do run cool, like Boosteds, but we've had a lot of issues, especially Ice River, man. No more Ice Rivers. We're done. We're done. Not until they really like fix what they're doing. We're not taking Ice Rivers anymore. And now I can understand, and King will agree with this if he heard me. Now I understand why major mining farms have MOQs of 100, 200, 300 of the same unit because they can guarantee the uptime so much better, right? Because they'll have replacement parts, they'll have techs just for this. When you start diversifying as a mining facility, you run into a bunch of diversified problems, okay? Like we tried an X5, can't get it fixed, had to send it back to the client understood, right? Because everybody says, well, they're just Bitmain, the S19, the L7, the X5, the E9, they're all the same inside, right? No, they're not.
Not at all.
They're not. There's actually training, okay? There's actually training for each specific model. Our repairs right now are specializing in S19s and L7s. That's the majority of our farm, right? It's over 500 units. It's the majority of our farm, okay? So like, everything else, is questionable. King is the type of guy that is perfect for his role at Terra because King's got this, no lose attitude. He's like this, he'll hit it with a sledgehammer if that's the last thing he needs to do to get it to work. Okay. Like he'll be there all night trying to get it to work. Like if King says it's dead and it doesn't work, it's because he's tried virtually everything to get it operational outside in his control. So, and another thing that we realize is like a lot of people are unmineable with their S19s. For some reason, S19s and unmineable don't really want to get along with each other. Especially they don't like to get along.
Errors.
Lots of errors. So if everybody's mining with S19s or even L7s to unmineable, not saying it won't work because it will, but there are issues with that. And
you get hiccups.
You get a lot of hiccups with that too. So
same thing to a lot of those like auto exchange. Like I've got right now, one of my S19s is on unmineable. Another one's on mining Dutch. And it does merge mining
Dutch,
but can pay you out in a plethora of coins.
You know how mining Dutch, you know how it works, obviously, but mining Dutch is great. And I'll explain it to everybody because let's just say it mines the algorithm for what is most profitable in that algorithm and then pays you in what you want. Mining Dutch is actually, I'm surprised it doesn't get as much, I don't know, like, news as other ones. Thank Chump for the S19 unmineable. Yeah, he has his S19K, which he had, it's funny because Chump had one that he bought from us that arrived DOA, right? It worked for a day and it just died and we couldn't figure out why. So we gave him a loaner. We have a loaner program at Terra. Most hosting companies don't. So I gave him a loaner on his account and let him do what he wanted to do with it. And now we just got it fixed and his S19K is back. But he did that. He was doing that too. So I don't know if he's still doing it, but he can log in on the back end and see what his units are doing anytime. So
yeah, and my thing was they do merge mining. So they'll merge mine BT SHA-256. They'll merge mine script. They'll merge mine, I think, X11.
Isn't that crazy? When you think about it, like, that's so nuts to me.
A lot. And again, it's like top 2 that are profitable, and then they'll just put it on your machine and pay you out in whatever you want to get paid out in. Yeah. And I'm doing a comparison so I can do a video of unmineable, which I think is they just mine Bitcoin. Like if you've got a Bitcoin miner, they mine Bitcoin and pay you out in whatever minus their fees. Where mining Dutch does merge mining and will do the same thing, pay you out in whatever you want. So right now, mining Dutch is coming up almost 10% more, like 8 to 10% more Doge, payout wise. Kind of cool.
Right. It is. No, it really is because of the switching, but the fees are a little bit more when you get into stuff like that, right? Versus the traditional pools.
What I noticed, because I did this on one of the little mini box, the Doge 2 as well. Right. And because I had that when it was really cold out here, like -10, -15, I had that in the bedroom upstairs, just, going all night. Right. And I could hear it switching between.
You could hear the leveling up and coming down.
It would spin up, it would spin down. And so it was like, it was working that machine more, and it's Wi-Fi. So sometimes it would disconnect and then in the middle of that, it'd ramp all the way up and then settle back down and reconnect and stuff. So we ended up taking that out and doing something different. But so it's definitely more wear and tear on the machines, but I mean, I guess you got to take that however you want. Right. So let me ask you, Hawk, what do you feel about the first generation S19s? Like, the 95 terahash, the 90 terahash, the S19Js, not necessarily the J Pros, but the Pro, the S19 Pro, where it was like 90 to 115 terahash, depending on the generation. What do you think about those?
If you have less than 3 or 4 cent power and you want to buy cheaper used machines and run them, have at it. Because after the halving in traditional hosting facilities that are 7 to 9 cents, in hosting, even 10 in some. There's a lot of major places that have actually increased their prices recently, which has been pretty fascinating. And a lot of people have sent me emails. But anyway, anything other than an S21 or an S19K Pro 120 isn't going to make much. Now, hold on. If Bitcoin continues to do what it does, I forget the numbers. I'd have to ask Mr. Iowa Crypto Mining, but I think Bitcoin has to be over 60 grand post halving to even draw in any money at like 7 or 8 cents. I think that's the number. I have to look at the chart. But you know, if you're just getting into Bitcoin mining, or you want to buy an ASIC and all this other stuff, you know, I wouldn't buy anything shy of like an S19K. And I'm just being honest with everybody, because they're going to be the new S9s, the S19s, the old ones. Yeah, they're going to be the new S9s. They're just going to be bricks. Just use them to hold the door open when you're delivering stuff into your facility. That's what they're going to be. I'm serious. Or you can use them as spare parts, right? Like, I don't waste the money. I did sell 4 90 terahash units to somebody recently, but he's got extremely low power, right? And he basically runs them for free because of his situation. And at that point, cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want to do. They're cheaper. I think I got them at the time. They were only like $700 or $800, like new. They were new, right? They just never sold. Yeah. And, you know, and I sold it to him, no problem. But I personally wouldn't waste the money on the units, guys. Like, if you're going to do it, you know, like here's food for thought, and it's a little bit more money, but the S21 on low power mode is way more efficient than the S19K. So the S19K on paper is supposed to get 120 terahash at 2760 watts, right? Which usually average plus or minus 10% on both sides, right? The S21 I've seen go to 100, and Hobbyist is in here and he can confirm this. I've seen it go to 158 terahash at 2900. That's crazy. Wow. Okay? Yeah. That is way more efficient than the S19K, but the price is more than double, 2.5 times, right? So you have to and the S21 is and it's a whole new structure internally. So maybe it'll last a little bit longer. If you're trying to future-proof your farm a little bit, S19Ks or S21s. If you're trying to make a quick buck or buy these units and sell them in the bull run, then you buy the older units and clean them up, make sure they run and sell them. Get you 2 or 3x what you paid. Yeah, at least. There's a guy that I know that bought $50,000 worth of S21s. I said, hey, so where are you mining on these things? I'm trying to see if he wants us to host them for him. Said, nope, not appreciate the offer, Hawk, but I'm not mining on these things at all. I'm going to put them in a storage unit. I said, yep. Really? He goes, yeah. He goes, oh, these things are going to go 15, 20 grand each in the bull run, 100%. And he's right. They probably will, because I remember paying $11,000 for a 110 terahash at 3250 watts. So that's 200 terahash unit. It's going to sell for 15, 20 grand. That's I would say maybe 15 is probably a good range. It'll probably be somewhere around that. Because efficiency is going to be king this time around. It's not going to be about power. Now in the bull run, the old mentality was nobody gives a shit about power usage in bull runs. And for GPUs, this may be true, right? But for ASICs, especially with a lot of the political stuff coming in and certain states changing rules, efficiency is just going to be king for a lot of people. Unless they have guaranteed contracts with power providers and stuff like that, which is going to be few and far between for smaller people. Even us at Terra running, 5 to 10 megawatts, this is not anything compared to like what Riot is doing at a gigawatt, right? We're still considered small, believe it or not. So, I would just, somebody said, how are the T21s and S21s? Seems like a lot of fan problems. Well, there's, T21, I don't know much about the T21. Seems like a cheaper version. It seems like it seems like the model that didn't meet S21 standard. Because it's 190. I think that's what they do with all of those, like the T17s and the T19s, same kind of way. It's like that B stock when it comes to the silicon, right? Kind of, I think. I mean, that's just my assumption here. I would just, guys, if you're going to do it right. Take it from someone who, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in this industry. Just save the money and buy the right machine. Don't try to just backdoor and do the cheapest route, because then it ends up costing you a lot more money. You know what I mean? The T21 is fine, and I think the T21 is the 3-phase unit, Crypto 440. Yeah. That may be true. So I believe it is actually. Retro Mike says, Hawk Crypto, I saw a teardown of the T21. The T21 is a wider chassis and may have problems sliding into existing farms. So I didn't know that. Did not know that. Excuse me 1 second.
Hey, while you guys are doing that, I wanted to touch on one thing you mentioned that you wanted to talk about tonight, Geek, and that was the Ubiquity Russian botnet thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Want to talk about it? I've
Sure.
already read it, so I know what's going on, but I just figured I'd let you talk about it.
No, go for it. Yeah. No, I saw the article and I was going to talk about it in my stream tomorrow. So.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. So yeah, basically 1,000 Ubiquiti routers had a Russian botnet. This is at homes and businesses. Had a Russian botnet. Now, I want to see how many people in the chat can figure out what everybody could have done that was affected by this. What could they have done in order to avoid having this malware put on their router? Anybody got a guess?
He means malware.
I want to see if somebody guesses it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
While you guys are trying to do that, Hell State says no WhatsMiner M60s love. WhatsMiner makes a great machine.
Ding, 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 ding. Ted got it. Change the administrative password. What everybody should do that has a router. That's all anybody had to do to avoid having this issue on their router. But anyway, there were 1,000 routers that were affected by this, and evidently the FBI quietly got it removed from all these routers. But
So change it from UBNT to UBNT1.
Oh, is that how they did it?
No, well, that's the default password for the Ubiquiti routers is UBNT.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't have one yet, so I didn't know that.
Or at least they used to be.
So
Back when I had the USG.
somebody asked about the WhatsMiners. WhatsMiners makes a great product. They really do. The problem with WhatsMiner is that, again, I say this a lot, is repair. You got to be able to have people to repair these things. So there was a farm that I talked to not too long ago, and they only host WhatsMiners because they have the repair on site to fix it.
Yeah.
Right. They're very, very different. They are Mercedes and BMW. They are very different machines, but WhatsMiners, in my opinion, I do think WhatsMiner are slightly built better in certain cases. we were hosting I was hosting like an M30 or an M50, I think.
The big one, M50 or M50S, wasn't it?
Probably M50S. And I mean, it feels like it's heavier than a Bitmain, like it's equivalent, right? It's a lot heavier and it feels solid. Like it feels like it's just made well,
Looks like the repair facility in Georgia that I worked with getting that T17 that I won, getting it repaired. When I was talking to the techs there, like shooting the video and outside the video, because I went there 3 or 4 times, they prefer the Avalon units.
really.
Yeah, they
Wow.
from a repair standpoint,
perspective, right?
they're built better, they last longer, there's less corrosive materials and stuff inside of it, because they see a lot of these that are like coming from the West Coast that are in, they'll put them in a shipping container and just fucking let it sit and run forever, and then when half of it dies, they rip them out and they put new ones in and send these off for repair and use half of them to fix the other half. And anyway, they said that they prefer repairing the Avalons because they see less of them coming back rebroken. Because like as a repair facility, a lot of the times you'll see, we will warranty our work. So we take pictures of all the things and you get a big list that says all the shit that we fixed on this one machine based on serial numbers, and they document all the things. So if they get it back, customer gets it back, plugs it in, doesn't work, they can call the repair facility, send it back out, review everything. Oh, we missed this spot, or oh, this was broken and we didn't fix it the first time, so here's your bill of materials.
Right.
They see less of those coming back on the Avalons than they do the Bitmains. Now they had some customers, I'm not going to say who because they asked me not to, but they have some customers that were the big one of the big farms, a couple of the big farms. And so they had pallets and pallets and fucking pallets of Bitmains. But the Avalons that they got in, they never see again. They'll fix it, send it back out, and it keeps going.
I know Avalon's been around for a while. Well, actually, it's Canan, actually. That's the company, but Avalon's the model. But yes, they've been around for a while. They're always on display at like the mining conventions. So it really comes down to preference. What do you like, right? Do you a lot of people I know people that are so pro Bitmain, like everything, just like the Bitcoin maxis there and every other coin's a shit coin. There are Bitmain maxis that every other miner is bullshit and only buy Bitmain. So it comes down to a matter of preference. Like if you're thinking about making a large scale investment into ASICs, buy one of each and see how they operate. If you have that kind of money, buy one of each, just like we do with GPUs. We test GPUs. I have the 7600 XT. Love it. Great card. Did a video on it. I can't mine shit with it. I tested it. Doesn't work. Same thing with ASICs. See which ones you want to use, what you like about it, and all that other stuff. So anyway, yep.
Thank you, all of you miners, for the $6.99 Canadian super chat. Much appreciated. Love Mondays with Max. Well, thank you. I appreciate that as well.
So anyway,
like 45 cents in US, right?
That's awful. That's pretty bad.
I'm just saying.
Hey, you could have said worse. You could have said it was 20 cents. So there you go.
Yeah. So
there was one other thing you said you were going to talk about tonight. Oh yeah, that's right. The Google AI coming up to go against Copilot.
Oh yeah, Gemini and Gemini Pro or Gemini Ultra. They've Gemini 1.5 they just released, or they are releasing. What was that?
Oh my God.
What's that?
All for you miners did a $28 super chat in Canadian, so I guess that comes up to about $1 now.
I think he was trying to get it up to the $6.99. I think.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah, that makes more sense then. Yeah.
Thank you all for your miner. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, I did some training classes, or started doing some training classes. The trainer was difficult to follow. And it's kind of cool the way that, like, okay, so machines, read numbers a lot better than they read words. So some of these like Chat GPTs and Copilot and stuff, they'll when you prompt them with natural language, not necessarily every word is tokenized, and each token, it has a numerical value to it. And that's what feeds the algorithm. Like if you stop and think about it, yeah, that makes sense. But I never really thought about it that way. It's kind of cool just seeing how some of this shit actually works.
Yeah. I feel like if we get into AI talk, we're going to be here for another hour and a half.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I think Copilot's pretty cool. I saw the commercial for it. The Super Bowl commercial, I think there was a Super Bowl commercial for it.
Yeah,
we're using it at work.
The commercials sucked this year, by the way, for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I was not impressed.
I don't know. Some of them I thought were pretty funny.
I didn't chuckle at all.
There were a couple that were definitely bad.
Although, all the kids that are my age, okay, love to see Ludacris and Usher and Lil Jon on stage, okay? That was like my childhood relived. I was like, well, I mean, for me it was.
I guess you guys probably didn't even understand the T-Mobile commercial.
I don't even remember it. But Hyru asked me if I used the 7600 XT for gaming, and no, I did not. I did not use it for gaming. You know who actually has a 70? I think he has it already, and he's going to do some really good testing with it. Is Son of a Tech has a 7600 XT, and he's going to do some benchmarking stuff with it, and see how it goes. I think he's going to use MMP. He told me he preferred MMPOS. I think he's going to be using it because I think moving forward. But yeah. Yep. Your brother-in-law was singing along with those songs during halftime. Oh, so was I, man. I was doing the Usher stuff, man. I was moving it in and bringing it down and sliding it over. I was all over the place, man. Crazy. When Ludacris came on stage, I was like, done. Ludacris finally made a Super Bowl appearance. It's crazy, man. Long time.
All the old people come out and say, yeah, but you didn't see Michael Jackson and you didn't see Prince. And yeah, everybody talks about
I've watched the Michael Jackson halftime show when he just stood there for 3 minutes and girls were just fainting in the crowd. Like he just stood there like this, jumps up and goes. Stood like that for like 5 minutes. Didn't move, and the crowd's going nuts. Just people just losing their minds. Like they're not even moving. He's just standing still. Could have been fake for all they know. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, actually, it was supposed to be football pads. That was supposed to give like what their outfits were. Hyroot was football pad stuff. I like the Janet Jackson halftime show. I'm sure you did, Chuck. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. Retro Mike says, I moved all my rigs to MMPOS. CPU only rigs are free, and GPUs with less than 4 gigs are free. And they have the latest updates, good for home miners. Oh, good. Thanks, Retro Mike. Appreciate that. Retro Mike, you asked me a question last week that I missed, and you asked me about what I thought about Flux sponsoring a Formula One car or something like that. Was that it?
They're now sponsoring an XFL team. Basically, two XFL teams.
Sorry, XFL team. Okay.
2 of them.
What do I think about Flux doing these things? You guys know how I feel, and I've said this, and I like the Flux project. I thought it was Formula One. I don't know. XFL is correct.
XFL. I mean, they may have done Formula One too, but I do know that they sponsored XFL.
It's XFL. I don't know where I got Formula One from, but here's my thing. Now I understand Flux is running. They're a company and they have budgets for marketing and all this other stuff. But the way that I think, and this is the way that we kind of leaned in with Terra, was that there's no promo until we have a working product. There's no promo until I can guarantee that we can do this the right way. Now, granted, Flux is probably one of the most marketable projects right now because they're doing machine learning and they really want to get the name out there and create the hype. And I get that. It's part of the plan. I understand. It's not always first to market, like Max says. It's always best in market. And marketing really brings you there a lot of the time, right? If you have a good marketing strategy and a shitty product, you'll outsell a better product. It's just the way the world works. Just speaking in generalities. However, with respect, I think Flux doing these things is cool. You want to sponsor an XFL team and you want to, do that, and that's great. I personally, if I was running Flux, I would put my head down and get to work. And that's all I would be focusing on. I wouldn't go on interviews. I wouldn't throw parties. I wouldn't sponsor anything. I just get down, get to work. I'll make sure my product works. And then I go stupid with promotion because now I have something that works. That's my opinion on the matter. Doesn't mean that I'm right. Doesn't mean that I'm wrong. I get it. But some companies can do things simultaneously. And that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of their recent live streams. I haven't had time, but I'd be curious to see what their rationalization was for doing it. It's one of the things that I don't know. You do advertising, but
maybe
I always wonder, like, things like sponsoring a sports team or a race car or things like that. What does that actually do for a company? I know it gives them exposure, but
a lot of write-offs.
Well, yeah, if you're making money, yes, it gives you write-offs, I suppose. But
you can write off ads and stuff like that at a major on a major corporate level. You can do stuff like that, like C Corp status and stuff. So that's why they do a lot of
less money to go towards your stockholders, which is what your responsibility is. So I'm just saying that I don't see how sponsoring an XFL team is going to benefit Flux.
So marketing
maybe it's just my lack of seeing what marketing is like nowadays, or I don't know. I just don't see it.
Marketing gives people the human psychology behind marketing. It works. We know it works. So you have different types of tactics in marketing. You have guerrilla marketing, which we saw Flux engage in with Dynex. We have regular marketing where people are just attaching the logo to a race car and driving around 150 times, right? So, but it does something to people psychologically. And Frank, I was going to bring this point up too. Frank said it also gets you to walk in the door with major sponsorships and major companies because they think if you have the money to do this, you must be doing something right, and they want to talk to you. True. So there's a strategy behind it, right? Now the problem with that, in my opinion, is, and again, I love the Flux team. This has got nothing to do. It's not personal. The problem with that is that if the product's not 100% functional or used at the moment, and you're promoting, when the people knock on the door to talk to you and you say, oh yeah, it's still in development, that door, companies don't ask twice. They don't say, oh cool, call us when you're ready. No, they go to the next guy in line at that level, right? Because they don't have time to waste. Time is money in these industries. That's my fear when it comes to that. So again, and Frank and I handle the marketing department, but Frank oversees a lot of what I do. We work together on a lot. And I would never, ever promote Terra, something for Terra that we weren't ready to do. And we worked out the bugs and all this other stuff. Like, with hosting, like we're not going to promote hosting if we don't have a facility. We don't guarantee the spots, or I'm not going to promote repair unless there's somebody there. Oh yeah, we have on-site repair, kind of. He comes on site to pick him up and takes him with him. No, that's not like, that's false advertising. So I mean, in my opinion, we're not going to push something we don't have. And I'm not saying Flux is doing that, because I know they have Flux Core and they're doing a bunch of different things and they're moving in the right direction, and I'm really happy. I just wouldn't go bananas with advertising currently. You know what I mean? I was at Cypherpunk and I thought Cypherpunk was a great, we had fun there, and Max, you were there with me and the crew was there, but I thought it was just a little too soon to do Cypherpunk. The products should be done first. Just like Locotech. This is the problem Locotech has. Hey, we're making this great product. Locotech on your the koozies for your beers. Yeah, man, Locotech, go. Cool. Can you show me a prototype? Oh, I don't have it yet. This is, again, I like Ben. I like Locotech. I like what everybody's doing. But somebody's steering the ship the wrong way. Your mouth should be shut until there's a product in hand, prototype with numbers and data to back it up. What's the point of promoting? Okay, you want to build hype. I get it. You want to get people interested. You can put a teaser out there. Cool. But pre-orders with no working prototype, pass. Hard pass. Hard pass on everything. Hey, GOAT, I'm going to sell you this brand new car I'm designing. Just send me 50,000, and when it's ready, I'll send it to you.
You got it.
No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Before I
Take a long walk on a short pier. It doesn't work that way.
I lose it on the screen. For all for you miners, did another super chat. He's like, I would give less, but YouTube won't let me. Anyway, thanks again for the super chat.
Flux is a great company. They have numerous products. They got the nodes. They're trying to get into the AWS style stuff. They want to do, there's things with like Project Mayhem that they want to do, and there's tons of stuff, right, that they want to do. But
yeah, Mayhem's
how does the saying go? A jack of all trades, master of none is still better than a master of one. I think that's the mentality with Flux, but they need to get these things not perfected, but at least running in the 90 to 95% range of success. Because right now, what are we doing?
I wish actually King was here. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I'm curious. He had that one game server up and running on Flux. That new game. I'm trying to
Poly World or something it's called. Or Poly something. I don't know. But Flux. Okay, here again. Right? We can run this. That game had 5 million users on it. Okay, it's popular all over the world right now. If I'm Flux, you can run this on Flux, have your own server. I am pushing this all over the place. Right? Because this is going to bring more attention to my chain. I'm not going to go sponsor an XFL team. People who watch XFL and football more than likely don't play Polyworld.
I wouldn't think so.
Again, I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. I just think that they're trying to tackle too many things at once. I think it's time to put your head down. I think it's time. And this goes not just for Flux. This goes for every other project. Dynex. This goes for Locotech. This goes for a lot of companies that are trying to do great things. Okay? And that's great. Put your head down. Get to work. Get a product. Get a prototype. Get something that we can use. And then you can start your marketing campaigns. Well, I don't see cars ever... Car commercials don't advertise a car that's not at least in production or going to be ready to be released. Like
at the same time, you see those at the auto shows. You see concept cars all the time at auto shows. That typically don't turn out the same.
Interest. Correct.
Right. That's just to pique the interest and kind of get people engaged. Like the original Chevy Bolt, Volt? No, it was a Bolt.
Bolt.
Yeah, it was a sick looking car as a concept, and it turned out to look like a fucking Prius. But that's just that's just it. And and not I don't know because I'm not involved with Flux, but the with what they've got going on, I mean, I know that they're working on what they're working on for the medical side, like Davey's background and Alex's background.
That's great.
They're already working on that as far as clustering, our GPUs together to be able to provide that as like the primary source of the Flux core income.
That's
right?
amazing. It's amazing to do that. And it's great. And you can revolutionize the whole industry. Hey, I'm coming to sit at the table. Cool. Does this product work? Can we see it? Oh, no, it's still in development. Don't look good when you do that. Hey, Hawk, I have a hosting facility. Cool. Can you show us a picture? Give us a tour? Do a video? Well, technically, I don't have it yet, but I will. So send me your units. No, it don't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Who's driving the car here?
All right, we need to stop talking about Flux. We're causing the price to go down. It was just pumping.
Don't get me wrong.
71 to almost 73 cents. Well, it went up to about.
Don't get me wrong. I like Jeff Key. I talk to Dan a lot. I like these guys. They're doing the right thing. I just think I just wouldn't, if it was me, and this is my opinion, and people have opinions of their friends and people that they like. I just wouldn't I would just focus on A and worry about B, C, D later. Okay? Get the product working. Let's get it perfected. Let's get people on it. Let's get adoption. Let's focus on the space, and then let's branch out. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's not start spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on parties and advertisements, and that money can go straight into development. Flux is not a multi-million-dollar corporation. That money can be well suited somewhere else. If Flux was worth billions of dollars and they had money to spend, hey, more power to you. God bless you. I hope it works. And I still do. But I'm just saying, like, you know, give me something. Give me something. You give me nothing. Like, I'm your boy. Help me. Like, help me help you. Give me something. Come on. Give me something.
Well, anyway, Flux is up, so that's a good thing. I like it.
It's been almost 2 hours, Max.
I know, so I'm trying to get on to the next subject.
There's another subject?
There is. Well, hey, there's people talking about things in the chat. We gotta have time to talk about things in the chat.
I have things to do, so I can't go another hour. So
we won't go another hour. Chill out, man.
You got me for 9 minutes.
Okay. Damn. Tough crowd. Gaming with Smokey Dan said, did you see Intel been caught fudging these numbers or their numbers for tests put out to make their processors look better than they really are? GamerMeld did a video. Oh, I'm shocked. You watched any of Gamers Nexus's videos on testing of the new Intel processor? He's like, what was the point? It's like 13 versus 14 series. Like, what was the point? Anyway, I haven't seen the video yet. I do usually see GamerMeld's videos, but I didn't see that one yet. Was that today, Gaming with Smokey Dan, that you put that out? I usually catch his stuff during the week, so maybe I missed that.
There's a new Intel processor. I forget which one it is. It's like 6.2 gigahertz is the boost speed.
Gaming with Smokey Dan said it's not the new ones which they fudge the numbers on. Huh.
Interesting.
Everybody's like, Hawk, CKB, talk about that, Hawk. And CKB is crazy right now. Guys, from your lips to God's ears, I hope one day that I can open up the hot air that comes out of my mouth and pump a coin. I hope one day I have that kind of influence. Oh, man. Dreams.
Yeah, we need Radiant to do something, man. I thought it would have pumped by now with just a little bit of something.
Radiant is the sleeping giant. It's the sleeping giant, and he's still asleep. He will awaken when the time comes. Okay?
Say the same thing about LTC, but it doesn't make me feel any better.
The argument with LTC between you and DJ is ridiculous. DJ's looking at it from a price valuation point, and you're looking at it from longevity and use case. This argument doesn't make any sense.
No, hang on. That is not. That's why I made the argument, because DJ has always said he's all about the money. And I said, which is more likely? Caspa going from 10 cents to 50 cents, or Litecoin going from 65 to $350?
Litecoin all day. Litecoin all day long. 6 ways from Sunday.
The year.
Look, I love DJs like my brother. I love DJ. DJ, if you're watching, I love you, man. I really do. Litecoin has got a track record. Caspa ain't got shit. So the point is when Caspa is a purely transactional coin. It's a new one. We have 1,000 of these right now. Litecoin has done this before in bull markets. So the odds, if you were a betting man, you would bet on Litecoin to do that. You would not bet on Caspa to do that.
That's why I did, but I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see.
That's the way bets are made.
The year that all that matters. But hey, whoever's winning at the time can talk trash. Just like I was talking trash when Litecoin was ahead.
I have a
DJ has
perfect
the right to
analogy.
talk trash while Caspa's ahead.
I have a perfect analogy for your Caspa Litecoin argument with DJ. Caspa is the new rookie on the basketball team. He's debuting his season, and everybody's making bets that he's going to hit 50 points a game. Litecoin is Kobe Bryant. You can bet that Kobe can hit, the odds of Kobe hitting 40 points a game are higher, much more likely because he does that versus the rookie who just started and you have no idea how this kid's going to play in the NBA. That's the analogy between Caspa and Litecoin. That's it. Done. There's no other discussion. I'm not saying that Litecoin won't do that. I'm not saying that Caspa won't go to a $10 billion market cap. I'm not saying any of that. It's totally possible. It could be the rookie of the year and do great and take Kobe's place, but it ain't going to happen yet. We don't know. Nobody knows. If you're a betting man, you bet on track records. You don't bet on fairy tales. Caspa's a fairy tale at the moment. Nobody knows where it's going to go. It's a fairy tale. If you're thinking Caspa's going to hit $1, okay, and you're going to bet everything you have on that, but you have guaranteed evidence that Litecoin has gone up and down with markets and has moved, and you're hedging your money on Caspa, you're an idiot. That's called dumb money. It's called dumb money. Now, not saying you shouldn't do that. You should diversify. You should put some in riskier plays. Right, then they do. But you should put riskier plays into Caspa. Maybe do 10, 20% there and put another 20% in Litecoin. You don't go all in on the rookies. Because the minute that they break their ankles, that's it. They can't play anymore. And that's it. You're done. So.
Caspa doesn't have ankles.
Pocket change. Oh, Pocket, I'm making a point. Okay. She's telling me I'm being insensitive because Kobe passed away. I'm making a point, like for people that can guarantee the score and other people can't. Please. Oh my God.
Liked Kobe. That's why he said Kobe.
I loved Kobe. He was Italian. He grew up in Italy and he spoke Italian. I like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yes. Rest in peace.
And on that note,
God.
If anybody else has any questions, speak up now or forever hold your peace. And thank you. Does anybody know how many likes I've gotten right now?
I don't know. I'd have to refresh it.
When did it start doing that? It used to climb like as the video's going. It says 80 likes now, but 80, it used to 80. Like you would see them go up, and now ever since I don't know, the last couple of months, I guess you got to refresh it.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Pocket. It's okay. I'm not a baby. I'm not upset. I love you too. Yes. LTC
Turtle
is the
Tech.
old veteran.
No, we will not be doing that tonight.
Well, hold on. Carl Coates says LTC is the old veteran. Caspa is the rookie of the year. Caspa is not the rookie of the year yet. Slow down with that bullshit. It's not the rookie of the year yet.
We'll find out by the end of the year.
It could be. It could be at the end of the year. It's not the rookie of the year yet. It's doing very well. There are other projects. I think Hash Rico said it. I didn't say it. I'm just going to read it. Hash Rico said Alf is the rookie of the year. We don't know yet, though. I think Lithium's got more to offer than Caspa. Caspa is just hype. There's nothing else behind it. It's just hype. Hype and ASICs. That's all there is. If Lithium had an ASIC at the same time Caspa did, Lithium would have pumped just as much as Caspa in percentage-wise. That's it. That's the argument. Good night. Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live. I'll see you next Saturday. Hawks out. Peace out to you.
Jeez. Okay, then.
Drop the mic moment.
I guess so. Well, I was going to at least respond to me and Milo Mining. Want to buy my 4090 tomorrow? No, because I just bought one. So, but thanks for offering. And I wouldn't imagine you'd want to sell it to me for what I'm buying my open box for. So, anyway. Alrighty, guys. Well, one of our guys already bailed. I appreciate you guys all being here tonight.
I didn't bail.
Oh, you didn't?
I'm here. Okay, I didn't bail. That was a mic drop moment. I was living in it for a second.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys all for being here. It has been 2 hours. Just a really long stream for us. But I appreciate you guys all being here. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button on the way out. If you like this kind of content, we all have channels. So please subscribe to us. Appreciate it.
New show I'm starting. Common Sense Crypto with Max Voltage.
Oh, that's news to me.
Common Sense Crypto. I just thought about that. It's exactly what we're going to do. Because there's no common sense. There's fairy tales. And number go up, people. No more number go up, people. How about some common sense? That's all.
Alrighty. Well, hey, I guess stay tuned for that. All right,
Good night.
guys. Thanks again. We'll see you guys next time. The General is out. Have a good night.